This June 8th, 2020 Carmel School Board Workshop meeting is called to order. As you can see, we are back at the Carmel Clay Schools Educational Service Center and practicing social distancing. Roll call, Madam Secretary.
All board members are present for today's meeting.
Thank you. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I started our meeting on March 23rd with a long list of thanks on behalf of the board for the virtual learning and food support that we have been providing. We have seen the CCS family help each other in these unprecedented times. Again, I want to thank our teachers, administrators, technology department, food service team, community volunteers, and countless others who have stepped up during this challenge for our Carmel Clay families. I also want to recognize Katie Biltmeyer, special education teacher at Carmel Elementary, as our CCS Teacher of the Year, and our administrators, Mark Smith as Assistant Principal of the Year, Jill Ship, our Principal of the Year, and Christy Cloud, our ESC Administrator of the Year. Thank you for being exemplary examples of being the best at getting better. I also want to acknowledge and show the board's support for Dr. Beresford's note to CCS families that we cannot remain silent in the face of the suffering. Racism, oppression, privilege, inequity, exclusivity, injustice, prejudice, stereotyping, discrimination, and indifference hurt us all. We must speak up. There is equal room for everybody in the CCS family. Racial injustice has no place here. Please know that we can make this world a better place, but only if we work together. If you or your child has experienced discrimination or inequality in any form, help is available by contacting the CCS Office of Student Services at 317-844-9961, or information can be shared anonymously through our Student Stop It app. The unusual school year is behind us, ending with a very special graduation for the class of 2020. I want to thank all that were involved for making it such a special day. I also want everyone to know that our administrators, teachers, and other staff are working on a plan for classes in the fall. You will be hearing more in the next few weeks. This evening, we have a limited agenda consisting of consent and a superintendent's report, and then we have an executive session on potential litigation, design and implementation of school safety and security measure plans and systems, and to discuss job performance of individual employees. The first item on our agenda is consent. On consent this evening, we have payroll, personnel report, payroll, claims, the minutes of our regular session from April 27th. May I have a motion to approve consent? Thank you, Layla. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Katie. Is there any discussion? No, thank you. Being no discussion, all in favor of approving consent, please signify by raising your hand. Thank you. All have signified approval of consent. Motion carries. Next, we will move to superintendent's report. Dr. Beresford.
Thank you, Mr. Kirshner. We'll have a shorter report tonight, but you've already kind of stolen some of my thunder, but that's fine. First off, I want to start with just another reminder, 2020 census is, you can complete that right now, and we'll have a link to completing the census on our board report that goes out to the community. But that count directly impacts funding, and so for a lot of different aspects of Carmel Clay Schools, so please make sure that you are counted and do the census. I just have two bell ringers for tonight, and one of them is graduation weekend, which you spoke to a little bit. I just can't give enough admiration and thanks to the high school. They worked really hard, from the graduation boxes, that had a special gift in it, and the caps and gowns, and just the enthusiasm that the staff and the transportation folks had to get those to them. And then came the in-person graduation, where we had over 1,000 cars come by in 7 hours. The vehicles were decorated. It was just a beautiful, perfect, sunny day. And And I just can't thank Dr. Harmis's administrative team enough for their leadership and planning. The radio station was, doing some things that they could listen to while they were in their cars. The board here was out and cheering on the seniors as they went through for the class of 2020, and it was just a very special event. And then as they went up the trail, their teachers were lined with and cheering, and it was probably the most personal graduation I've ever been involved with, because typically it's pretty formal and the parents are pretty far away, and the parents were in those cars with them, a lot of times with their pets too, and it was just a very special thing. Dr. Harmers in particular spoke with every student and their family, and what an opportunity. He made the most of it for 7 hours in a row, so Herculean effort there. And as far as in person, Courtney Taylor and the people from the CIESC and I think some students too took some video footage of the in-person graduation and created a video from that that's really special, commemorative thing to remember that. So it was really special. Then came Sunday, which was the virtual graduation, and it was again very personal, heartfelt, and the students' speeches were just, incredible, and again, just very personal. And then with every, students had an opportunity to make a video of saying their own name. They had 5 seconds, and there was a lot of creativity in giving their names, and I really enjoyed watching every member of the class of 2020 do that. And so anyhow, that video was created. So thank you to the Carmel High School TV students and their teacher Brandy, and I think her name is pronounced Ostrick. Hopefully I didn't butcher that too bad. And then the real coordinator of the big parties, from the boxes to the video, is Amy Skeens Benton, and she really did a fine job taking care of that. So what a great graduation weekend, and I'm so proud, and I'm hopeful that every person in the class of 2020 felt the love from Carmel Clay Schools, and just really proud of them. So that was bell ringer number 1. And then bell ringer number 2, of course, was we had the opportunity to award our Administrators of the Year in the same fashion as we did Teacher of the Year. So we were kind of a surprise attack, and kind of like Publishers Clearinghouse, we just showed up with awards and yard signs and gifts. But our first one was the ESC Administrator of the Year, Christy Cloud. And I thought I'd just share with you some of the words from the nominations. And this one, they said a few things, and they said, now more than ever, I would say Christy is overwhelmingly deserving of this honor. She led her team with military precision, managing demands and needs coming at her like water out of a fire hose. Christy and her team deployed thousands of devices, provided timely tech support, not just to staff, but to students and parents, turned on brand new software integrations while also ensuring we kept students and their data safe, developed tech tips, and so much more. I'm fortunate to get to work with Christy on a regular basis, and many people don't get to witness her firsthand amazing work ethic, her awesome problem-solving mind at work, but even more importantly, her service-driven approach to everything, both professionally and personally. She puts the service in Educational Service Center. And their theme in technology this year is maximum enthusiasm. And I would say that we witnessed that all the way through that. So kudos to Christy Cloud. 3 claps and a whoosh for Christy. Then we moved to Principal of the Year, and that was Jill Shipp from Prairie Trace Elementary. And one of their nominators said, despite incredible personal health obstacles, Jill has continued to lead her school community with determination and grace. She has courageously put her story forward to inspire others during difficult times. She genuinely cares about others and is a beautiful example for her staff, students, and larger community to emulate in their own lives. And then another quote from another nomination was, Jill is one of the most determined administrators I've ever met. She's always looking to make her school the best it can possibly be for her students, teachers, and families. She is a loyal and fierce advocate for her PTE family. And the best part of watching Jill as a leader is that she is in addition to promoting strong academics, she also promotes strong hearts. So Jill Shipp, and I will tell you, my first impression of Jill Shipp was very positive, of course, when I joined the family here. And her heart for kids who struggle with especially behavioral issues and and special needs is amazing. And she is a fierce tiger for those students and makes a big difference. So 3 claps and a wish for Jill Ship. And then finally, Assistant Principal of the Year, Mark Smith at Clay Middle School. The nominator said, Mark goes beyond the call of duty to ensure every situation is handled with professionalism, integrity, and kindness. I can honestly say the teachers and staff at Clay look to Mark for guidance, support, and friendship. He has high expectations and holds all constituents to the highest level, but does so with care and concern for the student and staff well-being. It's a pleasure to partner with Mark on any initiative because I know it will be thoughtfully planned and well executed. So Mark Smith is one person described him as the backbone of Clay Middle School because he's been there quite a long time. I will tell you that I've probably visited Clay 20, 25 times, and almost more than half of the times I visited, Mark was sitting on the floor with a student who was struggling, and he was talking to him and helping him kind of calm down and find their way. So we're lucky to have skilled, excellent professionals like these 3 to lead our district. So 3 claps and a wish for Mark Smith. And that is the 2 bell ringers. And I just had a couple of closing thoughts. And as you alluded to, Mike, it's been a very difficult time with racial relations in our country and protests and then sometimes some violence, in different settings too. And I'm proud of our students in particular and staff that some of the protests that they've been involved with have been very peaceful and appropriately done. And that's really a freedom that our country has, and it's a hallmark of our country. But at the same time, I think my closing thoughts are just these. In Carmel Clay Schools and really in our community, we love our students. Regardless of race, color, creed, gender, you name it. We love our kids. We love our staff. We love our Carmel Police school resource officers. We love our parents. We love our community. We love people. So my challenge is this. Get to know people by name, not by their race or their occupation or all the other lines that this world draws up. I think you'll find that most of them are very lovable, and maybe we'll find some peace if we can do that. So those are my closing remarks, and that is the end of the superintendent's report. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Dr. Beresford. And after the length of our last couple meetings, I will gladly accept a motion to adjourn this workshop session of the Carmel Clay School Board. Thank you. Second? Thank you, Layla. All in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you. Meeting adjourned. But you don't get to go home.
A new track record. Amy called to
Are you
7:14.
staying or no? Okay.
Anybody at 7?
Now I should wash my hands before I pass it to you.
What is it?
It's stuff to sign.
Me to sign?
There's consent.
Yeah.
I mean, not consent, payroll or whatever.